company is Bearcom Wireless. We're based out of Dallas. We have 26 offices around the country, and we're a B2B wireless technology supplier. So my purpose for coming out here to the CMO Club event is to learn more about the latest technologies in terms of tools that marketers are using these days to reach out to B2B audiences. Also to share my experiences and maybe learn from others in terms of what they've done right and what they've done wrong, and how we can all learn from that collectively. So I attended this same event last year about this time. I learned a lot. It was probably the best 2 days I've spent in a long time, so I'm back for another round. We've done a lot of experimenting in the last year with social media, as a lot of other companies have. Primarily on Twitter. We're in the process now of building a Facebook presence and LinkedIn presence, which we have presences now, but they're not really working for us. So we're in the process of developing those. But we've had quite a bit of success with Twitter over the past year, have built a pretty good following. We actually started an initiative called Wireless Wednesday. It's very similar to Follow Friday, if you're familiar with that. But it's really for people in the wireless industry. So we focus a lot of time and effort on that, and that's really paying off for us. And the biggest, I think, advantage that we've found with social media is not so much so on the customer side in terms of generating revenue, but it's really helped us develop relationships with our partners and our suppliers in the industry and really expand those relationships. So it's been huge for us in that respect. The initial plan was to hopefully generate business, and this is what's resulted instead. So it's been a good experience. A big part of our differentiator in the marketplace is the fact that we have offices around the country. So for example, if you're a large retailer and you have offices around the country, or you have retail outlets around the country, it's nice to work with us in your situation because you've got somebody there in your local area that can help you. If you have issues with your Blackberries or your two-way radios, you don't have to wait to get that product from Dallas, but you can go to your local Bearcom facility in Chicago or New York or LA or wherever you might happen to be. So you have the advantage of working with a local provider, but yet we're part of a national network. So that's the biggest difference between us and the rest of the folks that do what we do. I guess probably the biggest difference, besides the fact that we have these local branches, is that we offer engineering services. So instead of just selling you a device, we will actually design a system for your particular application. So if you have a facility that has difficulty with wireless communications for whatever reason, maybe you have extra thick concrete walls, or you have a distributed workforce that are around the country that normally couldn't use two-way radios because they're spread out, we're able to develop systems and engineer systems that allow those facilities to talk to each other. So it's a little bit more, I guess the word, a sophisticated approach to designing wireless systems than just selling you a black box. So that's the big difference between us and other folks out there in the marketplace. In 2011, we plan to spend a lot more effort on what we're calling the customer experience. And that's a combination of things, using social media to listen to what our customers are saying and what their needs and wants are, and really making sure that we understand how our customers feel about our organization and what we're doing in terms of meeting their needs or exceeding their needs, or if we're not meeting their needs, why not? So that's a big focus for us in the coming years, is really focus more attention on the customer and making sure that we're much more customer-centric as an organization. I was a sophomore in college, didn't know what I wanted to major in, and took a marketing class and enjoyed every minute of it. In fact, it was the one class that I was happy to get up in the morning and go attend. If you remember back in the college days, you were always looking for excuses not to go to school. And I actually wanted to get up in the morning and attend that class, so that told me that was probably the right profession for me, and that's all I've done since. So I think it was the right decision for me, so I've really enjoyed it. I think the biggest piece for me is actually two: relationships with other folks that lead marketing for their organizations, and the opportunity to have venues like this to share information with each other. I've met some really incredible people through the CMO Club that I have no doubt I would not have met otherwise, and have learned a lot just in the few events that I've been to from being associated with the club itself. So it's been a great experience all the way around.